Good evening once again. This is Gomnet TV. My name is Godwin Oguche. I am excited to be with you this Tuesday evening. It's our day of special discussion, and today we will be talking about making a choice between having cash and having access. That's our subject matter for today, and I'm looking forward to a great time with everyone who is tuning in. So I like for you to indicate as soon as you come in, as soon as you join in the video broadcast, you just tell us where you are watching from, and it will help us uh, welcome you properly. So just on the comment box of your Facebook where you're watching, please indicate where you're watching from and if you're getting us live and clear, loud and clear. What is the quality of the video at your end? What is the quality of audio at your end? I like to know, and it will help us to, you know, do better. And so, once again, it's Gomnet TV. My name is Godwin Oguche. I am reaching you live from our studios in Kano, Northwest Nigeria. And our conversation this evening is centered on choosing between cash and access. I'm going to explain all of that as we make progress. And I like to welcome all of you. I have Oni Oluwatayo Olatunde is watching from Kano. Cash versus access. This will be interesting. Okay, thank you so much, Pastor T from Kano. I also have Oluseun Oyeleke, Wiki Man. He's joining us from the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, and he says this is good. All right. Video quality and sound quality is great from the end of Oni Oluwatayo Olatun Day. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am very excited to have you. I also have with us Oscar Okaga Oscar. He is joining us all the way from Yola in Adamawa State. Oscar, you're welcome to Gomnet TV's evening broadcasts for today, and we are trying to, have this very interesting conversation on your choice between cash and access. Right. So we will be back momentarily. We want to take a music break, and when we are back, the conversation will start in earnest. Don't touch this dial. This will change your life. I can assure you of that. So stay back and enjoy this from Favor Johnson. He is my artist of the week, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of listening to this brother. Let's enjoy this one. We'll be right back.
God made mankind to take care of the earth, while He takes care of the heavens. He made a pact so we could live forever, by the blood and by the word. God can never lie. God can never lie. greater than himself. Swore by his throne, meaning if his covenant with man should fail, he is to be God, by two immutable things, by which it is impossible for God to lie. God cannot lie. God having no one greater than himself, swore by his throne, meaning if his covenant with man should fail, he is to be God, by two immutable things, by which it is impossible for God to lie. God cannot lie. Faithful God, faithful God. I'm gonna take this covenant so serious, serious, serious. I'm gonna take this covenant so serious, because he lives, I confess to move, because he speaks, there be no more soul. I'm gonna take this covenant so serious. Oh, serious. I'm gonna take this covenant so
I'm going to take this covenant so serious. Favor Johnson there, uh, giving us that great piece from one of his LPs. It's Gomnet TV, and my name is Godwin Obuche. I am glad that you are here with me, and our conversation this evening is on the subject matter, uh, a choice between cash and what is that again? Access. Yes, choice between cash and access. Which would you prefer? Which is more desirable? Which is more desirable? All right, so let's start it this way. I'm expecting that a guest will join me from Bauchi in Bauchi State, but I guess she's finding it difficult to join us because of the network. But let's go on. For those of us who are here, I would expect your feedback. As the conversation goes on. So um, Solomon one day decided he was going to sacrifice 1,000 bulls, 1,000 cow, for the dedication of the temple, and it's almost like he took God by surprise. A single man woke up one day in gratitude to God, decided to, slaughter 1,000 cows. It's not two cows, not 10, not 100, not 500, not 900, 1,000. 100 times 10. That's what 1,000 is. So you must have seen herdsmen, traversing the landscape of Nigeria with their heads of cattle. I'm not sure we have seen 1,000 head of cattle moving in a single stream. It's massive, and this man, with all of his uh, opulence and the glory of his office, decided to sacrifice 1,000 cows as a Thanksgiving peace offering to God on the day of a dedication of a temple. And when the ceremony was over, everybody had gone home and everything. And this young man who had just dedicated a temple that God told his father to build, and which was bequeathed to him, he had the honor of building it because, like God said, the father's hands were too full of blood that he can't build a temple for God. And he felt this was an honor that he had been bestowed, and he showed so much gratitude. Solomon's heart was consumed by his desire, to give God thanks that he did that which he did, 1,000 cows. And so everybody had gone home. Solomon had gone to bed, and in between trying to sleep, God just tapped him in the spirit, and he saw a vision. And God asked me, young man, what you did today was crazy. All right. Uh, well, I was not there, but the Bible told us that God, had a conversation with him. So I'm only trying to, you know, contemplate possibly how God came to him and say, "Wow, young man, uh, like in the language of my people, you know, there is a way you will talk to somebody that you're proud of, and let me give you a direct translation of what an Idoma man would say, and particularly how my dad would put it. You have scattered the world." It's something like alechecha. The literal earth, you broke it. it's, it's something very amazing. You have done what nobody has done. And so, Solomon, tell me, what do you want? How many of us have been presented with an open check before? Somebody had the capacity to give you $1 billion and more came to you one day and says, "What do you want? Take this check, write any amount on it." Write any amount. Sometimes when you have such an encounter, sometimes you forget your name. Somebody said, "Godwin, is it me that is the Godwin?" The man said I should write anything. Elon Musk says I should write anything on the check. Elon Musk is worth $250 billion as at this week. All right. So he gives you a check and said, "Just write any amount." What will you write? Solomon had such an encounter, and Solomon was a wise man. Solomon was a wise man. Solomon said to God, "I'm not looking for money. I was not trying to get money from you when I, went to sacrifice 1,000 cows. No, Lord, I wasn't looking for money. As a matter of fact, God, you have blessed me with money. My father, I was born into wealth. My father was a king when I was born. I didn't need money. If I needed money, um, I would have done something. It's not slaughter 1,000 cows. So it's not money. Lord, all I need is wisdom so that I can take care of this, your people. I find myself insufficient. I'm a young man. I can't find my way around. My elder brothers were all more qualified than I am. They were born before. They had the right. They were next in line. My mother came from nowhere. So and I've been told the story of how my mother became a queen through some illicit activity. And so, Lord, I'm not the right person for this job, but you decided I am. And so I need your wisdom. I don't know anything. What manner of man was Solomon at that moment? Solomon was not asking, God could give him anything, and God was sincere. God actually came to him and said, Solomon, what do you want? God was right on target. God was ready to give him anything he asked for because he had touched the very core of God's heart. And the man said, I don't want money. Of all the things in this world, I just need wisdom. And so the question before us this evening is, when you have an opportunity to, get cash from somebody who is a multi-billionaire, and there is another chance of having access to him or to his wealth of knowledge, access to his friends, access to uh, his network, access to his body of knowledge, what made him who he is, access to mentoring, would you choose? Would you really choose money over access? That's the conversation tonight. And before we go on with this uh, conversation, I don't know if uh, my brother and friend Tayoni is still watching. Please indicate if you're still on, Tayo. And Oscar Okaga, are you still on? If you're on, and then my very good man, Wiki man in Abuja, if you're still on, I need you to drop your an indication for me that you're on. I'm going to send you a link of the studio right now, and I would ask you to come on and speak and tell me exactly what your thoughts are. Okay, Oscar is on. Um, is Tayoni or Wikiman in Abuja on? And I need to hear your thoughts. I have done a brief introduction. So, Oscar, I'm going to drop the link of this conversation, this studio right now. I'm going to drop it on your WhatsApp. All right. So watch out. When I drop it on your WhatsApp, I want you to come in to the studio, and I'll put you on, and then you tell us what your thoughts are, okay? And then we can, continue with the conversation, all right? And while I am doing that, I am going to take another music break. I'm going to take another music break, and while I'm on that, I believe that Oscar would come into the studio, and then we can share these that we have here right now. Okay. This is Favor Johnson again, and it's Celebrate. Enjoy this.
It is daybreak. I am here again by your mercy. Lord of mercy. Yeah. All because we are alive. We celebrate. I am grateful. You've been good. You have kept me. Now I walk among the big and the mighty. I have more reasons to celebrate. Celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Everybody come on, celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Let the living join me celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. What you celebrate will appreciate. What you give thanks for will increase. It's not of him that will it, it's of the Lord that showeth mercy. What manner of love can be more than this? That you gave your life for one like me. By the stripes you bear, now I am healed. I'm your temple, oh God, and I've got heavens in my heart. Celebrate, I'm gonna celebrate. Let the living join me celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Celebrate, everybody come and let us. If you're alive and well, if you can listen to this music, if you're not celebrate you. Thank you for counting me among the living. It is a privilege, not a right, Master. Let the living praise Jah.
All right. It is Celebrate by Favor Johnson, and I appreciate the fact that we are still here. I am waiting. Okay, Oscar Okaga is here. Oscar, good evening from Yola in Adamawa State. Can you hear me loud
Good
and
evening.
clear?
Yes, I can hear you very loud and clear. Good evening
Okay.
from the Sun City. How are you
Good
people
evening.
doing over there?
We're doing well, and I believe that you're good.
Yeah, I'm good too. How is
All
mom
right.
and
The
everybody?
subject matter,
Yeah.
everyone is fine. The subject matter we before us tonight is between access and cash. What is the most desirable? I had just giving the the background there with respect to the issue between God and Solomon, and
Mm,
Solomon chose access to God's wisdom. So, what
mm,
would be your talking point concerning the choice that we'll have to make? What is the most desirable thing? I asked this question somewhere, and I said, if the president of a country walked into a place and asked a particular person, what would you want me to do for you? And the person just said, I will just ask the president for 100 million naira. And I said, that's like carrying a teaspoon to the ocean,
mm,
because I wouldn't ask for money. I'm just giving you an idea of my answer. I said I would ask for um, those who can see the president without appointment.
mm,
I would ask that the president give me access to 100 persons in the country that can see him without appointment, and I wouldn't need cash from him, because anybody that can see the president without appointment must be a bourgeois, somebody of
mm.
high network. And so I need access to such people. And I would rather that the president keep the money to himself, because I know eventually the president's money is actually the country's money. So if he's going to give me 100
Of
million,
course.
is he going to take the money from the vote? So I just need access. All right. So, but of course, that is not the answer from everybody. So let's hear you talk about this subject matter.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. The obvious answer is choose access. But as simple as that sounds, not everybody will understand this. People, I don't know, especially our generation, we tend to be interested in what we can see right now, now, not
Yeah.
later. A story was told of a young man, a lawyer, just graduated from law school and was struggling, really, really struggling for a long time. And then there was this senior advocate, a very well-to-do senior advocate that had frame all over the place, and the man had it all made up. So this guy was, wanted to have access to this great man, and he kept trying to the man here and there, was not getting the attention of this man. So on a very good day, this man finished a case in a court, and as he
Mm.
was trying to walk out, Ghana ran into him. And I said, hey, you've been trying to see me all this while. He now held his hand, walked with him like uh, some blocks away, and then he whispered into his ear. He said, if you cannot make it, don't come to my office again. And then the man left. 6 months later, this guy came back to the senior advocate with him, telling him, sir, that meeting you held within 5 minutes on the walkway just made me, my career. Why? Because by talking to him on that 5 minutes, everybody was there capturing the media was capturing everything. So, oh boy, so you are this important that this man that thought after will be holding your hand like that. Wait, oh wait, come. And that was how this guy, and that was exactly what the man meant. So
Mm.
I brought that to make us to understand that sometimes what we need is not the quick as it were. If I have access to a billionaire, what you should seek is not what he will give you at that moment, the check that he will sign right there that you go with,
Mm.
but the access. If you have the opportunity to choose between access and cash, you should choose access.
Yes.
Because sometimes our mentality, the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not that he will be, that he is ready like that. All right. So if your mentality has not grown to the level of accommodating the success you see in people, you will only be admiring. Even if you have an opportunity to have that, it will still go back. Somebody gave this
Mhm.
illustration. He said, if you share the whole money in the world and give everybody the same amount of money, after a while, you see
Yeah,
that the rich is
absolutely. Okay. It does appear we're having network challenges from Yola, where Oscar is joining us from. We will get back to him uh, as soon as the network is more friendly. And if you're just joining us, we're having this conversation, this very important conversation on the subject um, between cash and access, which is more desirable, which is more desirable. Okay. Um, and we have had Oscar Okaga joining us from Yola in Adamawa State, and he has been lending his voice in support of the fact that we need access and not cash. Access has a way of giving, us that privilege, to be able to, do the right thing. Eventually, the cash can come through access eventually. So uh, we will take another music break, and I'll have some thoughts shared right after the break on this subject matter between access and cash, which is more desirable, right? Which is more desirable. And so you're watching Gumnet TV, and we are discussing access or cash, which is more desirable. Okay. It's important for you to also indicate where you're joining us from. We would love to hear from you. Sincerely, we would love to hear from you. Where you're joining us from, and indicate if you're getting us loud and clear. Okay. That's very important to us. We like to know that. We like to have you know, give us that privilege of, meeting you and having to know you better, and we can keep further touch with you. So tell us where you're joining us from, and it will do us a whole lot of, you know, joy. We derive joy in connecting with our people. Okay. And so Oscar shared with us between access and cash. He is in support of access because it has a way of overshadowing any amount of cash that you get from anybody, especially if the person you are trying to reach out to is someone who has got incredible amount of leverage with a strong network. Okay? Holy Rapper by Favor Johnson. Let's take a listen. It's an audio.
Doctor tell you, I know sabi. I no know waiting physicians tell you, I know sabi. Doctor fi tell you say it's no get cure. He get one holy rapper. If you talk am go well.
Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith.
You a woman we get issue of blood for 12 years. This woman they find who we go heal her. Physicians stop her money. I mean say doctors whack her money. Physicians drop her money. I mean say doctors chop her money. So they gospel I'm about tell am say Jesus they heal people. She run go crusade ground. When she reach there, people baku no road to enter. This woman remember her lepers bell. She begin the ring and the calm. This woman remember her own problem. She carry and begin the calm. So me sing say your problem na me say go open door for you. Your problem na me say go make way for you. But them says your problems go open door for you. Your problem na me say go make way for you. This woman go they come off for road she enter. She got down they come off for road she enter. She go they come off for road she enter. She got down they come off for road she enter. When she reach where Jesus Christ dey hang, she touching holy rapper. Who touch me? Sure. Oga Jesus, no be people plenty dey press you so. Which one go who touch you again? No fuba no work out for time even marrow no here. I'm asking which one touch me, which one touch me. Somebody don't touch am for Jesus for Rafa.
Check out Lord Jerry, Oga Jesus. Come on, quick go before the baby girl die
Oh,
yo.
Judas, because now if you do that kind of thing, what you get me for Judas? Hey Jesus, no be me.
Holy rapper, we come timing, we come calculating, we come touching. Holy rapper, we come timing, we come calculating, we come touching.
Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith.
Holy rapper, I say now who I am. Oh,
Now Jesus son of God, now you don't hear him.
holy rapper, I say now who I am. Oh,
Now Jesus son of God, now you don't hear him.
now faith be among our things with the hope. Evidence of things we no fit see. Now by faith we hear say God carpenter this world together. So all these things where we they see, wetin make am I no fit see am. Person where they observe life vanity, he go sing home blessings jump and pass. Blind man way back TV no colo baba faith. Deaf man way back radio no colo baba faith. That's what me sing I say.
Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith. Hold it up and touch on by faith.
Holy rapper, I say now who I am. Oh,
Now Jesus son of God, now you don't hear him.
I who get here make it how it me talk. Wants me to come I beg you hear me twice. Person where they observe line vanity, he go sing on bless blessings jump and pass. What a righteous man fit do without faith. Without a righteous man no fit do nothing. What a righteous man fit do without faith. With every righteous man surely don't by me. Me shout am, me holler am, me preach am, me talk am. Everything na by faith.
Here and now, make it loud at the top of our lungs. There's a sound breaking out, Lord, for all that you've done. And now we're turning our hearts to you. And we'll never stop loving you. Come on. This will be the best time of our life as we encounter your love again. Here with you, our hearts will come alive as we declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Come on. As we declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. From the start, here we are to collide with your love. Oh, every heart set apart just to be where you are. And now we're turning our hearts to you. We'll never stop. We'll never stop loving. Come on, let's praise Him tonight, Planet Shakers. This will be the best time of our life as we encounter your love again. Here with you, our hearts will come alive as we declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. As we declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Come on, put your hands together. This is our time. This is our place. This is our moment to lift your name. This is our time. This is our place. This is our moment to lift your name. Oh, this is our time. This is our place. This is our moment to lift your name. We're gonna lift your name higher. This is our time. This is our place. This is our moment to lift your name. This will be the best time of our life as we encounter your love again. Here with you, our hearts will come alive as we sing it. We declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. As we declare your praises. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Come on, make some noise for Jesus.
It's nice to be back. That's Planet Shakers. This is our time. Are you sure this is your time? Okay. It's Government TV, and we're reaching you from our studios in Kano. My name is Godwin Oguche, and we're discussing the subject matter today. And it is between cash and access, which would you prefer? So we have Oscar back with us from Yola. Good evening once again, Oscar. Your network went off momentarily there.
Yes. So
Okay,
the point I was
I
trying,
want you to yes, I want you to land your thoughts, and then we take it up from there.
yes. No, the point I was trying to make was that in each of these cases, uh, it's clear that what we need is access. When you have access to someone, you have access to his wealth of knowledge that makes him to be what he is. But if he just chunk up money to you, uh, you will eventually end up coming back again to the point that you become a nuisance and keep coming back for the money. But if he gives you what makes him or her what they are, then
Mm.
it's better than going for cash. But it's very unfortunate
It's
that not
almost like
everybody.
it's almost like saying, "Teach me how to fish, so that I don't have to be coming back to
Yeah,
for the fish
exactly,
meal every time." Yeah.
exactly. Because if you keep coming back for fish meal, you will get to a point that you overcome. I mean, your welcome will no longer. You will not be welcome again at a point. You become a nuisance to the
Yeah.
person giving.
And you'll be
But if you
disobeying the
make,
Bible anyway.
of course,
Yeah, because
so
the
it's
proverb
better
says
to
you
have
shouldn't keep your legs away from your neighbor's house.
mm,
Otherwise you will become
become
very
tired of.
common to him.
Mm,
All
so,
right. What about what would you say to people who believe that they don't have what it takes completely? They don't have um, what it takes to be able to, turn access to cash. So why don't you give me the cash and let my people go?
that is what we call fear of the mind. It's a depraved mindset because I believe that everyone, if he is humble and willing to learn, can
Yeah.
maximize every aspect. Except one is not willing to learn, and it's a form of laziness and a depraved mindset. You know, access is more than cash because it is from access that cash will eventually come.
Will come.
Yeah.
So the entire concept is, as a people, we must begin to learn how to um, turn access to cash. And this demands that we must be knowledge driven, we must seek wisdom, just like Moses sought wisdom. He said to God, don't bother about money. If I have the wisdom, and when he asked for wisdom, God said, with the wisdom, I will give you cash. There are some people,
Yeah.
if you tell them that, see, I don't need the money. What I need is the information that you have that made you who you are. you know, People will always be surprised that somebody on earth is asking that kind of question. And
Yes.
it will impress them enough to not just give you access, but they give you everything that is at their disposal. You know, but because
And
most times we live for the immediate, and we must stop living for the immediate. I think I'll come back to that talk. Let me allow you to speak on what is on your mind right now.
you see, the point I also want to make, to reemphasize what you just said is that people really don't know that uh, if if you know what a man who can make him to be what they are,
Mm,
even if you fall, you can rise again. Like I was giving the scenario of sharing the money of the whole nation to everybody equally, and then after a while, the poor becoming poor again, and the rich becoming rich again. It's just the same thing because the knowledge base is very important because
mm,
it takes having the right mindset to handle. The problem we have is that we have a nation that commonize people. When there's somebody wealthy, they say he's just lucky. But
mm,
really, it's not true. It's not true. There are certain things that guy know that you don't know, or there are things you know but you're not doing that he. So if you have access to him, he will tell you, he will teach you to do them. There are things you know but you're not doing. He know he's doing. That is what the results are different. So if you have access to him, by way of mentorship, you will know what he's doing different from what you are doing, and then your result will eventually change. But when you for cash, he can talk something to you and just watch you. And that is a plague that the wealthy people have. They rarely have people come around them and want to know something rather than
Some
give
know
them
some.
something.
They just want to come and
They
collect.
they are looking at their hands, not what
Yeah.
they will tell them. And that is a
All
very
right.
dangerous mindset.
There's this question I'd like for us to address. There are people who are actually looking for access. They know that they cannot get money from some people, so they just want the access. They have this idea that if I have this access, I will do something with it. Something good will come out of it. Then when they get the access, they mess it up. You know, they tend to mess up access. So how can we have access and then manage it so that it translates into something very good? Oscar, are you still there? I think we lost Oscar there. And I was going to ask him this very important question. And I'm sure that he will be back before we wrap up so that he answers that question. How can we prepare for access that we should have? Okay. How do we prepare for access? How do we manage the access that we, get eventually? A lot of people get access and they don't even know how to manage it. Yeah, and then the access itself is lost. Okay, the access is lost. So how do we manage access that we receive? Okay, that's the question I was going to ask, and I'm going to still ask that question. Um, let's keep that in mind because it is coming. We have a little over 15 minutes left on this program. Have you been learning anything from this conversation this evening? I'd like for you to indicate, let me know. What are you learning so far? What has been your takeaway? And you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook. I'd like for you to drop your thoughts and let us know what have you learned so far. And don't just watch this, share it with your friends. Okay, some of the best way to be a blessing to people is to you know be an information merchant for free. Okay, share this with your friends, let them know that access is better. Okay, and that's the conclusion we're having here. We're not just leaving this conversation open ended. We're making sure that you're taking something away. Okay, we're making sure that it is not just um, uh, we're not trying to democratize this space. We're ensuring that you're getting the truth and nothing but the truth. That's exactly what we're doing. And so I urge you not to uh, be deceived by cash. Now, cash is desirable, cash is very important. Um, as much as possible, ensure that you have a liquid amount of cash around you. But of most importance is the capacity to be able to generate cash over a long period of time, such that even when the cash in your hand is depleted, you know what to do to get cash back on. All right. So that's essentially what we are looking at. Okay. So I want to get your feedback and know exactly what you are thinking about this, and then we will, wrap up this conversation. So we have Oscar back again. Uh, Mr. Oscar, I was asking a question. Maybe you didn't get the question before the network came up.
Yeah.
Affected you. I was saying that there are a lot of people who have this desire to have access. They desire the access, they go after it. They want to, they book appointment to see these people, but they don't have what it takes to manage the access. All right,
Mm.
they don't have what it takes to manage the access. So I want us to speak on this matter of when you have gotten the access, how do you manage it? There are people who have gotten access and messed it up because they don't even know what to do with the access.
That's true. You know, there is there is a science to relationship management. You know, that is where um, the issue of skills comes in. Skills in relationship management. We need to know how to relate
Mm,
to people that are of the upper strata, people at the same level with us, and people lower than us in life. And at every point in life, we have
mm.
people at this level, people that are higher than you. You can't relate with someone that is higher than you same way you relate to somebody at your level. By God's grace, I'm one of the persons that
Absolutely.
I I have a I know how to manage relationships. I relate to people that are higher than me, and I know, it's not human work, but you honor those who deserve honor. It doesn't matter whether they are the same age with you. You know, the Bible says, without contradiction, the greater is blessed, and the lesser is blessed of the greater. It doesn't matter whether the person is the same
Mm.
age with you, but as long as there is a difference, and in any situation, you are the one that is in need, you need to give the due honor. Otherwise, you won't get it. And we have an arrogant thing. What is it? We quickly say, what is it? It's just lucky. It's not always like that. There is a place for honor. I've had young people come to me, they say, Oscar, you're my mentor. And, the tune of communication makes you know that this guy is just on the same, he's looking at you at the same, peer. There's no relationship of a mentor and mentee as he's trying to claim. So there is every
Okay, we have that glitch again. I guess the network from his own end is quite poor, and we have to deal with that even on this particular occasion. I like to apologize for that constant glitch from our guest all the way from Yola in Adamawa State, Mr. Oscar Okaga. And he was talking about honor. He was talking about honor right there. And that's a challenge with a lot of people. If you do not honor a particular grace on the life of a person, you can't attract it. What you don't honor, you don't attract. We may not have the time tonight to talk about the mentor and the mentee relationship, but when you have access to someone who has accomplished something very substantial in life, it is an opportunity for you to tap into the body of knowledge, the grace, the capacity that is he has got. And so when you honor the person freely gives you all that you desire in terms of information, in terms of all that you need to know so that you can move to the next level of your life. But when you think that it is a right and not a privilege, that somebody should just, give to you information relating to the growth and progress of his or her profession or in whatever they do that you desire to be part of, when you think it is a right and not a privilege, and you do not honor that person, I can tell you that you are, more or less taking for granted that person and the things that you desire. And then you would be undoing yourself. you will actually be undoing yourself. So honor is key. As a matter of fact, the Holy Book says we should give double honor to those who minister to us in word. And that's speaking about the gifts to the church, which is the gift of prophet, the apostle, the pastor, the teacher, the evangelist. They are gifts, and we're meant to honor them. And so, if you have somebody above you in your profession, there is a need for you to honor them, because honor attracts the blessing that you desire. I say it again, you cannot, you can, the grace you don't honor, you can't attract. And so,
That's right.
we have our guest back. We have our guest back. Let's have him, land his thoughts. And then we will take one more music break. And then when we are back from that music break, we'll just sign off. We'll have our last word. So, Oscar, you were
Okay.
trying to land your
Okay.
thoughts on the subject of
The,
honor.
before my network takes me away, I want to say on a note that if we notice that we are the ones to benefit from a relationship, we should be unashamed to admit that in
Mm,
relationship, I should humble myself. You should swallow our pride. That's just it. And the reason I want to make it clear that if you esteem the person lightly, even in your mind, and pretend on the outside, you will still not get.
mm,
If you are just pretending, being hypocritical about, in your heart you do not honor the person, you despise the vessel on the inside of you, you will still not get. That is why you discover that some people are very close to greatness, but it doesn't reflect in their own life because they do not honor those
mm.
who are carriers of this, blessing. So instead being humble enough from the depth of your heart, not just saying with words and meaning a different thing in the heart. With that, we can measure ourselves very well. Then we can honor the person
That's
genuinely,
absolutely true.
no longer just the service of leave. And then from there, we can maximize access and make the best of it. Thank you.
Okay, you made a statement, and I'm trying to remember exactly what you said. I didn't want to interrupt you at that point. You made a statement about. I'm trying to remember exactly what you said about honor, and one you said if you pretend in the presence of the person and you despise the person
Mm,
behind your back, it is still not
yes.
right. You have not done well.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, what is the place of what's the difference between honor and worshiping the person? You know, there's a thin line. There are times that the honor might almost look like you have made this person your god
Your
or
God.
what? Why are you, yes, why are you, deferring to the person as if you owe your life to this person? you know I know that some of it is just a show. Some of it it happens in religious circles as well. It as if the ground that the man walks on, it's almost like you worship the ground that the man walks on. you know so what's the difference between that and true honor? Okay. um it does appear we have lost Oscar again, but we'll take this music break. When we are back, we will sign off for tonight. It's been a beautiful time right here on Gomnet TV.
Faithful through the ages, just what you said. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. Oh, seasons change, you remain the same. God from age to age, though the earth may pass away, your word remains the same. Yeah, your history can prove there's nothing you can't do. You're faithful and true. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast and let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Oh, great is your faithfulness. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. Your faithfulness, it never runs out. Yeah, it never runs out. Oh, your faithfulness, oh, it never runs out. Never runs out. It never runs out. Never runs out. I put my faith in Jesus, my anchor to the ground. I
All right. We have had a beautiful time tonight. I believe that the worship time, the time for the conversation has been result oriented for you. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to get feedback from you. If you're in the city of Kano tomorrow, uh, we will have this very beautiful time in God's presence as we worship on Wednesday. All right? As we worship on Wednesday. And this worship on Wednesday time out will feature a study that we have been carrying on in the last 3 months. We have been studying the epistle of the Apostle Paul to the uh, to the Ephesians. All right, we've been studying this epistle for uh, 3 months now. It's amazing how you know you can take take 3 months into 4 months studying a book, a letter written by the Apostle Paul to the church in Ephesus. All right. This letter was written to the church in Ephesus, and we have been studying this. In fact, in the first month, we spent we spent about 4 weeks studying 3 verses of scripture. Right? 3 verses of scripture. We studied verse 1 and verse what other verse? Yes, verse 1, verse 2, and verse 3. We spent that amount of time studying just one verse of scripture. And I want to let you know that it is amazing what happens when we study the word. It's, and I am excited that tomorrow, and I'm glad that you know you will join us tomorrow at the worship on Wednesday. We will be looking at the subject, the whole measure of the fullness of Christ. That's what we're looking at tomorrow. And I am asking that you join us. Join us at the worship time tomorrow. Okay? Join us at the worship time tomorrow. And it will be a huge blessing for all who do so. We will be talking about how we can come to the measure and stature of Christ. That's our focus tomorrow. Okay, it's our focus tomorrow. The whole measure of the fullness of Christ. Uh, it's the study series on the Ephesians. So if you're in Kano, October 27th, tomorrow, 2021, join us at the Researchers Nursery and Primary School, Hall 3, 122 to 128 Egbe Road, Sabongeri, Kano by 6 p.m. It will be a pleasure to have you join us tomorrow. And if you're not in the city of Kano, you don't need to worry. We will, we will be, going live with this uh, discussion, this conversation, this teaching, and on this platform. It will be going live on this platform tomorrow. So it will be a pleasure for you to join us. It's amazing how time flies. It's time to go. We want to thank Oscar Okaga from Yola in Adamawa State who joined us to make sense of the conversation we're having. His last thought here is there is a thin line between human worship and honor. We honor men, we worship God. Once we cross the line, we are in error. That's very true. And so, on that note, we want to call it a day on Gomnet TV's evening broadcast for tonight. And I look forward to hearing from you. Share with us how these broadcast sessions are a blessing to you. We must liberate men from darkness by dismantling ignorance, and that is what Government TV does. We are an online television platform committed to nation building, personal capacity development, and that is equipping you with value adding information which builds you up to becoming the best version of yourself. So you can reach us on the uh, phone number on your screen right now. Okay, it's our WhatsApp number. You can reach us on this phone line, and it will be a pleasure to engage with you. Absolute pleasure to engage with you in all our conversation concerning how you can be the best version of yourself. I'd like to wish you a beautiful night rest and have a joyful rest of the week. God bless you.
I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Wasn't holding you up, so there's nothing I can do to let you down. It doesn't take a trophy to make you proud. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Oh.
Going through a storm, but I won't go down. I hear your voice carried in the rhythm of the wind to call me out. You would cross an ocean so I wouldn't drown. You've never been closer than you are right now.
Let's sing it loud, y'all.
You are Jireh. You are enough. Jireh. You are enough. And I will be content
Even in this,
in every circumstance.
you are
Jireh.
You are
You are enough.
forever enough, always enough, more than enough. Forever enough, always enough, more than enough. I don't wanna forget how I feel right now on the mountain top. I can see so clear what it's all about. So stay by my side when the sun goes down. Don't wanna forget how I feel right now. Jireh, Jireh,
You are enough.
I know that you are
Jireh.
you
You
are.
are enough.
So I will be, even if it's right now,
In every circumstance.
'cause I've learned that He's always
You
enough.
are enough.
He's forever enough, always enough, always more than enough. He is forever enough. When I lose everything, He's always yeah.
I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I